there were people that were idealizing you. They saw something in you and they wanted to own you. They wanted to be around you. They wanted something of you. Your essence, your light, your authenticity, your love, your influence, your status in a spirit. But your life took a turn. You got fatigued. You carried all the boats, all the timber for them, while they were reaping the rewards for your fruits of your life. You were planting the seed, and they were harvesting it. Not even they let you harvest it, but they consume it and they attribute it to themselves. You never wanted to understand these people, but you know this moment when you have a person in front of you and you sense an unhygienic spirit. I don't want to say a dirty spirit, unhygienic. All right. And it's painful to emotionally explore this person, to understand this person really. And you go to people around and ask them and you get no understanding. They're all in the same pattern. They are part of this. So you're doing the work yourself. Most of these unlocks, you just get them when you're separating yourself. When you go through this cleansing and cleaning yourself. But you know, this disgusting work of cleaning out the dirty past and personalities of other people just to understand what is happening in your life. My coffee is finished. But of course we're talking about covert narcissists and psychopaths in your life. Covert narcissists come in different packages or in different shapes. One is the white knight kind of energy, a person with a white collar job kind of energy, a person in a social high position, a person with money or influence, a pro-social communal narcissist, okay? And this person appears to be a good person, morally, doing all these things right, always having good intentions. But when you look at their life, you wonder, why is this shit happening? Why is so much things happening in your life? Why is the people around you the way they are? What happened there? You can't make sense of it. These are politicians. In their heart, these are the Pharisees, the scribes, the hypocrites. All right? They're making politics. They try to insert themselves in the life of people through making use of their influence. They are deeply transactional. All right? So they give you something of their worldly goods and try to make you dependent. They want to buy you, but we're not for sale. All right? So these are people who have no life content, no soul, no heart, no authentic spine, no backbone. They don't stand up for themselves. They insert themselves in the life of people. These are the ones that come flying like flies when a psychopath creates an artificial emergency situation, and now the slaves of the psychopath coming in to play the saviors. All right, there's the psychopath controls the covert narcissists to gain access to their money, and the psychopath creates artificial emergency situations. So the covert narcissists come swarming and get part of this savior energy and get part of this people human souls that are troubled through a situation that a psychopath created. And now the covert narcissists gain access to these souls in trouble, okay? And the other kind of covert narcissist is the victimhood identity. It's a person that has given up completely on themselves and make the world turn around them. All right, if they can't go on, they crash out. And now everybody is, oh, we were partying, we were happy, we were just having fun, but now you're in your bed crying, what happened to you? And then they are the center of attention again. They have all kinds of troubles. That's why they can't. Okay, their narrative is, I can't because of this. And then they point fingers to other people and to bad luck and things that happen to them. In reality, these are people who are engaging in competitive victimhood. These people take away the identity of real victims. A real victim is a person that is falling and standing up again and trying to push on. Then somebody helps a real victim, and the victim uses this help with respect and then keeps on pushing in life, right? Becoming independent again. But a covert narcissist is a parasite. The number two, they are both parasites, but this is another form of a parasite. A person that is thriving in victimhood. All right, but both of them have a strange sense of grandiosity that is not rooted in reality. If you insert yourself in other people's life, using your social status, your money, just to gain access to the souls and the heartbeat, the pulse, the life of other people, and you make transactional deals with them, that's evil. That's dysfunctional. That's unhygienic. That's dirty. That's a familiar spirit. Okay? Or when you're thriving in victimhood, you say, I am dysfunctional. But then you want to be functional and respected at the same time, as if you were a fucking functional person that is standing up for themselves in life, that is working for their money, for everything, that is putting in the work. And you want to be the same as that, but you're a victim at the same time. They still work. You have a grandiose sense of self, but at the same time, you have huge amounts of self-hate that you project on others. That don't work like that. And all of that, you had to understand this, and you had to learn. You had to learn how these people work. You have this person in front of you, this unhygienic, familiar spirit, bro, sister. It's like everything in yourself says, this is dirty and unhygienic, but now I have to understand this person to understand what is happening in my life, because it's absolutely counterintuitive. These persons are not acting from love, from an abundance mindset. These people acting from a scarcity mindset. They go eye for an eye. They are high competitive, even though they bring nothing to the table. What do they bring to the table? What did Cain do to Abel? I'm not telling you just another fable. I'm telling you about the life of people who are in a state of being disabled. So, what does the psychopath bring to the table who controls all of these covert narcissists, shapes the narrative to the outside, a facade, just like they wear a facade every time? All of these. There's a pyramid. On top of is the psychopath, and below is the covert narcissist, and below is the enablers and the codependents of them. The people who are buying into the cult of one, and the one is the psychopath. But what does the psychopath bring to the table? None of them brings anything to the table except of these transactional, codependent trades with services and goods and supply, right? What does the psychopath bring to the table? I tell you what they bring to the table. Future fake and a shared fantasy for the covert narcissists. They are trading with savior complex, with White West energy. I give you the White West. Now you look like a savior for people. But what you do is you insert yourself in the life of vulnerable children, of vulnerable people who are in need of help, real victims. The real victims get competitively overpowered by the covert narcissists that play savior as parasites. That's disgusting, unhygienic, right? I'll be right back, y'all. So what else does the psychopath bring to the table? Does he bring empathy, love? Does he say, hey, how are you doing? Can I cook a coffee for you? What do you want to do tonight? You should relax, you're doing all the work. No. They bring the future fakes. They bring the shared fantasies for the covert narcissists. Each one gets a special one. Just enough to keep them at bay. The psychopath enables these people to have access to the life force that a psychopath controls. The psychopath is the manager. He has reality testing. He's doing the work behind the scenes. He's creating a narrative. He's micromanaging all these people. Also in the public, the cult needs a facade in the public. And this is what the psychopath manages. Micromanages. Coercive control. That's what they bring to the table. They have no core identity. They change faces quickly. The covert narcissists are, of course, living in a fantasy. They have dysfunctional reality testing. They believe it. They 100% believe that that is real what they do. The psychopath knows it's fake. Therefore, he is fiercely fighting. But you guys, I tell it to you over and over again, there is subclinical psychopathy. These are dark tetraids, dark pentagram personalities. They are subclinical. All right. And the psychopath has the reality testing. He can serve and create the shared fantasies where the covert narcissists are caught in. He has dependent bonds to all the enablers whose job is to make it look as if everything was fine and inviting. But what is lacking, what is not on the table, is love, is real freedom, is mutual equal distribution of power and identity, is identity theft, it's an identity distortion, it's an identity disturbance. And all the power and identity floats up to the psychopath. But a psychopath, does he have identity and power? Definitely not identity, but a certain degree of power, yes. But a false power is rooted in falsehood, okay? And control. Take away the control, take away the influence, take away the narration, and put some truth and light into this, and it collapses. It collapses. You understand me? That's what they bring to the table. Nothing but effort, but no soul and no heart. But except the Lord built the city, the watchman waketh early, but they labor in vain. And the watchman watches, but in vain. I quoted it wrong. It's not my thing, but this is Psalm, I think, 126, all right? Read it. Except the Lord built a city. Yeah, you know this. You know how it feels to start to understand these unhygienic spirits. And it has triggered a lot of change in your life. The shadow work for whole family lines, bloodlines on all sides, breaking generational patterns, bringing things to light that want to stay hidden. The facades are crashing, breaking down. The shared fantasies shattering. Yes, only cursed people curse people. But we break the curses and the spells and the illusion. Thank you for listening.